Last time on Sector Builds.
Just need to redo the carrying handle because I screwed that up this morning and wasted about 4 hours of today. And get the magazine built. And an entire day's worth of work to make that holster that fits inside of that box so that this magazine does not shake or wiggle or anything else while it's inside this box, but also fits inside of the sniper rifle. Ugh. I seriously need to rethink some of my scheduling. 1 o'clock till 11 o'clock made this one part. The biggest issue, of course, was trying to figure out how to mount the magazine in a way where it was not going to rock around and it'll properly socket right into the hop-up, and in a way that will easily come in and out. I mean, ugh. The worst thing that can happen right now is that these screws catch on the side walls of the mag well, but let's see here. Moment of truth. Oh, uh-oh.
1 week later.
Alright, so 5 work days spread across the span of 2 or 3 weeks. I can't even keep track of it right now. We finally come to the point where at least the project is starting to resemble what it should look like. Oh, I present to you the heaviest sniper rifle I have ever held. I present to you the Halo 5 SRS99 S5 AM Mod 1. Now I know the scope is mounted, designed mirrored, but you know what? This being a right-handed weapon, having the red dot on the left side of the scope actually helps because I can stick a red dot in there and then I can actually use the red dot instead of having to try to find a way to swivel this thing like that in order to use the red dot. So, this thing is incredibly heavy. How heavy is this thing anyway? Ugh. 25 pounds? Holy crap!
Back inside the garage, you can see how many bits of extra material there is, but the thing is that wood stuff, I gotta fill that in before I paint it up. So that means I gotta disassemble the entire gun, because that piece and that piece are screwed directly into the lower frame. So, yeah.
3 days later.
Alright, so a lot of work had to be done for here, because that nasty cap needs to be gone. But you know what? I'm happy with it now. I also did like a lot of fill work with automotive body filler to smooth up the sides of the wood pieces. Painted it before I put the panels back on, because you know, once I put the panels on, I can't really paint it because they'll be covered. Also had to take the barrel off because I wanted that to remain black. And everything else is ready to go. I know it feels like heresy to paint the gun itself, but the client says it's fine. Now to wait before I can touch it.
5 minutes later.
Dry enough. Up and around and up, down. You have no idea how useful this small little space heater fan is for painting applications in less than ideal weather conditions. Because, you know, when it doesn't have enough warmth, if it starts to freeze over, they are doomed. Any costume builder will tell you how important temperature is for working with paint. And I cannot stress to you enough how nice it is to not have to wait 45 minutes to put on a new coat. Instead, I need to wait only 10. Alrighty. time for some heresy. Now, Canadian Tire, which is the company I use to go to collect all of my paint, has stopped selling Krylon paint, which is the with brand of paint, which is the brand of paint that I use the most. Instead, they now have something called Premier paint. I have no idea how good this stuff is. Doesn't seem to react horribly to the primer. I don't see it trying to lift anything off. Alright. What the? Evidently didn't shake it quite enough, because that's a different orange that came out. Well, let's let that bake and see how that turns out. Do a little touch up right back there. Side note, this looks almost like a Nerf gun now. So the client asked me to make orange hexagon with tricolor chip pattern with more blue hexagon on top. Now, thing is that what I was planning to do was to use this, but those hexagons are going to be tiny. So I'm going to see if I can find something else. Alright, so the one thing about these rolls, my hands are not big enough. The one thing about these rolls of wires that essentially these are not consumable, but I can't refund them after I open them up, and I have no other use for them really. So I don't know whether to charge the client for buying these, but I think I'm just gonna have to find something to put them onto after I'm done with wrapping these two things around the sniper rifle and then painting it. Freaking hex wire and the paint just doesn't freaking match, and it just doesn't. Why did I let the client talk me into doing this? There's no way to tie it down. Alright. Let's see how this goes. Now I know a bunch of you guys are going to say, "Whoa, Red, I thought you were supposed to take a bunch of stickers and stick them all over the place in order to get the hexagon design." Well, you know what? Here's the problem with that. Ain't anyone selling hexagon-shaped stickers in the quantity I need do it, plus the fact I have to manually stick them on individually, perfectly spaced in between everything. So no, it's not working. Plus, in order to do this, I need to basically do it in reverse, where I'd be able to paint everything else, put the stickers on, and then paint the big blotches of stickers on, and then go back and repaint the smaller ones. It's just horrible. Do not ever ask anyone to do this by putting stickers on stuff, unless it's just a tiny little ass thing like that big. Unless you can find a mass surplus of stickers that are easily consumable, and it doesn't friggin' like cost an arm and a leg. And it's not really covering all too well. There's too much space in between. Which means I need to repaint this now. Alright, back to plan A. Hopefully this works. The thing is about this, doing it this way is that I'm going to have to keep moving the template around, which means I'm not going to have consistent hexes. Now I know sections of this will not be having hex feature, but in order to keep the orange up, like showing, I have to reproduce the exact position of the hex pattern, which is what's causing me all the hustle bustle. Kind of doing it, giving me the nice snake skin patterns, but because of areas of lifting, I can't get full contact and then keep it. Otherwise, this will work, but the lifted areas will not receive the pattern properly because it's just going to diffuse too much. As blotchy as it looks, he did mention that sections will not necessarily have the hex pattern, so I guess it's okay. I'm guessing. I'm going to count it as okay. Wait for that to dry before I flip it over. So you can see how the perfectly flat sections where I don't have to worry about any elevations comes out very nicely with the pattern. But areas that have like crazy amount of lift and everything else takes the template off the thing and then causing a lot of diffusion. On the side here I can manage to get, you can see the pattern rather well. But like come here with that section right there, and this is a very light coat, it's not even like a proper sealing coat. I imagine that when I do the rest of the pattern, it's just going to completely cover everything. I'm going to see if I can or cannot like do a proper and full complete coat of silver before I do that, but I don't know if this is going to work, honestly. Yeah, but unfortunately that's all that I've got time for this week on this video. It's very close to the end. I'm almost done all the footage, but I still have to do one more video to break this up into the 20-minute segments because YouTube policies and such a young channel. But either way, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell for when for when the last part of this build gets put up. I'm looking forward to really seeing all these videos being put together and finally being published. It's been such a crazy build so far, and I just want to thank everyone who's been supporting me just via all the Facebook pages that I've been posting updates to about. And yeah, don't forget to leave a comment if you've got any suggestions of what crazy ideas you might want to see built in the near future. And you know what? Yeah, see you in the next build.